Hi, Stephen Lee Benson here. For a few moments, I'm going to start talking about active shooters and what has happened in the wake of the El Paso shooting, the Dayton shooting. Basically, if you sum it all up, it's basically it's a mind issue. It's not a gun issue. It's a mind issue. Why does Stephen Lee Benson say that? Well, simple. When they started deinstitutionalizing mental health institutions back in the 1950s and 60s, well, you released a lot of issues. And with releasing issues, what do you think is going to happen? A lot of psychological issues are going to manifest. And so when you have that, guess what? You may have people going a little bit cuckoo crazy. And I'm not trying to disparage anyone. But what goes on, well, after Kennedy pretty much signed off on that, and his was based on emotion as much as I like John F. Kennedy, one of his family members was lobotomized and it didn't go too well. And so that emotional upset took place and he signed off on quite a bit of stuff. And so by the 1970s, guess what? A lot of your folks, well, they're out in the open, So what do you expect? In general populace, of our society. And so that leads me back to active shooters. Do you find it kind of interesting that, well, in 1966, University of Texas, there was a active shooter at the tower, but he didn't use a AR-15. He used an M1 carbine rifle. So if you look at it, he killed 15 people, wounded 31 others. It took a police officer and civilians to help out with that situation. Nobody wants to discuss that, and nobody wants to discuss the type of drugs that are out there, the antidepressants, the Ritalin, all these. We know they work, but what are the side effects? Well, one of the side effects is make sure you consult your doctor first before you stop taking it. That's Ritalin. And all of them pretty much have the same warning sign or warning labels that basically if you take this, if you start having suicidal thoughts or abnormal thoughts and all that kind of good, wonderful, fuzzy stuff, consult your doctor immediately. Why is that? We don't ever ask questions as human beings. It's not a gun issue. It's a mental health issue, and nobody wants to discuss that because we have to actually look at. Well, we have to look inside ourselves. And the old saying goes, you look into the abyss long enough, the abyss may be looking back at you. We don't want to look at why things are taking place. We like to do the whole, ostrich with our head in the sand. And it's understandable. Nobody wants to be reminded, hey, this is what took place. This is why you are who you are now. Nobody wants to talk about trauma. Nobody wants to talk about, what took place in your childhood. We want to avoid that, which is understandable. And this is what takes place, unfortunately. When you do that, people, when you go, hey, maybe we need to look at this. Oh no. You notice gun control kind of drops off the face of the earth when you start talking about, hey, mental health. Big Pharma America. We have all these pharmaceuticals that are taking place, and yeah, they do work, but we don't know the side effects. We don't know the long-term effects of it. that's why I want to go the holistic approach and not have to be dependent on, hey, you got to pop a pill to make yourself feel good. And this is where we're at. Nobody discusses, well, and they can't because of HIPAA, but I mean, no, it would be very fascinating. Who was their psychiatrist if they had one? What kind of pills were they taking? How long have they been on it? And I noticed this, and I'm not trying to kick public education, but you know, I noticed this quite a bit. When you have people that push for Ritalin all the time, and it's normally boys that hit what, 3rd or 4th or 5th grade, that, oh, maybe they need to be put on Ritalin. Everything's Ritalin. If they're too active, put them on Ritalin. And I'm like, boys are supposed to be rambunctious and full of energy. You know, they're like a BB in a tin can, just bouncing back and forth. And that's how they're supposed to be. You know, they're not supposed to be, you know, wanting to play with their nails and wanting to know what kind of fashion accessories need to go with their Barbie and everything. And I'm sorry, if you don't like that response, oh well, deal with it. That's half our problem in our society now. We want to feminize our boys. And why are you wanting to feminize your boys? They're men. They're future men. So why are you wanting to do that? And that's my mindset and mentality. So I mean, if you want to talk about why people shoot up the place, well, you know, it's childhood trauma. It's, you know, whatever they're probably taking. Probably, you know, a family history of mental health issues. All kinds of factors and variables. It's not just a gun, people. The scary black AR-15 is not the issue, because you can put an AR-15 down on a table for 30 years and nobody touches it. Does it kill anyone? No, it doesn't. Because it takes a human with a brain to make an AR go bang bang. I'm sorry. And if that brain is insane, well, there's going to be a lot of bad damage taking place. And why penalize the rest of society over a government screw up over about 75 years ago? Just saying. I'm just putting out my observation. That's it. Doesn't make it true, doesn't make it factual. Just saying. It's an observation I've made. So if y'all like this, y'all think this is very interesting, a good fun fact, you want me to keep going, cool, whatever, let me know in the comment section. If you like this so much that you want to contribute, go to my Patreon. Please like, subscribe, and do all kinds of fun stuff to promote this, because education is key to our society. Knowledge is key to our society, and the more you know, the more you can do, and the more you can influence society. So thank y'all for watching, and look forward to doing more videos for y'all. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good day.